Hey, this is Jeff, and welcome back to my Fallout 3 challenge run to see how quickly I can get all skills to 100. You joined me in a divergent timeline from the one we were in at the end of the last episode. Specifically, I started over again and off-screened everything up to this point because it was pretty much exactly the same, nothing worth seeing a third time in this video. I'd like to say it's because my conscience couldn't let the enslavement of Arkansas stand, even though he's a psychotic mass murderer, and that I returned to Minefield to make amends for my transgression in the alternate universe. But that's not exactly the case. Kill him! Kill!
Yeah! Damn!
Did you get it? Good. I'll leave it up to the viewer to decide the ethical merits of enslaving a man versus murdering him for his keys. The real reason I started over is, I realized I was mental when I kept insisting intelligence had to be 10 when we left the vault. It occurred to me while I was editing. As much as I like the Arkansas alternate timeline opening, I do need to show the skill progression up to level 3 in case you're playing along at home. Don't worry, this will be the only flashback. I'm not going to go full-bore Quentin Tarantino on you with non-linear storytelling. Anyway, like I said, setting intelligence to 10 before leaving the vault actually cost me skill points, and we'll see why in just a minute. As you can see here, I set it to 9 and put the extra point in agility. And the tag skills were exactly the same: barter, melee weapons, and unarmed. When I stepped outside the vault and leveled up, I only got 19 skill points, one less than the previous attempts because my intelligence was only 9. I put 3 points in barter, 14 points in energy weapons, and 2 points in explosives, again, for the bomb and megaton. And I took the thief perk for 5 bonus points to lockpick and sneak. A keen eye may have noticed that my medicine, repair, and science were also 2 points lower than last time, also because of the difference in intelligence, but small guns and sneak were 2 points higher because of the extra point in agility. So I was temporarily down 3 skill points. But I had a plan. One other minor difference, I didn't even attempt the speech challenge to get more money from Lucas. I was pretty comfortable by this point that I'd have enough money for Charon's contract by the time I got to Underworld, and I didn't want the XP if by some fluke I actually succeeded. Anyway, I didn't disarm the bomb right away, but instead I swam straight to Rivet City and picked up the intelligence bobblehead, which increased medicine, repair, and science by 2, for a net gain of 3 skill points compared to what I had at level 2 last week. I also bought the ant pheromones from Cindy while I was there, so I didn't have to make another trip when I hired Charon. I went back to Megaton, disarmed the bomb, sold my loot, went to Scrapyard for dog meat, and headed for the mall via the tepid sewers just like last time. Since I'd picked up a couple extra map markers, I hit level 3 a little bit earlier, in Georgetown, instead of when I got to the mall. Intelligence was back up to 10 now, so I got 20 skill points, put 9 in energy weapons and 11 in explosives, and took another rank of the thief perk for 5 more points in lockpick and sneak. I went to the mall, picked up Charon, went to the Republic of Dave for the Perception bobblehead, and Grey Ditch for the Ant Site perk, and then started on the skill bobbleheads, all pretty much exactly like last time. The timeline really diverged when I went to Paradise Falls for the speech bobblehead. I realized I could get it without gaining any XP because if you have evil karma, Grouse just lets you in. You don't have to pass his speech challenge or do the Strictly Business quest. The easiest way to get evil karma is by killing innocent people, but the whole point is I'm avoiding XP, so I had to resort to petty theft. Kinda tedious, but it worked. Of course, I didn't want my karma to stay evil because then I'd be getting ambushed by regulators all the time, so I donated enough money to the church to get me back to neutral. Anyway, after I picked up the speech and unarmed bobbleheads, the plan was, and is, to do the books next in alphabetical order by location. But I also like to kill 2 birds with 1 stone when I can, and 2 of the book locations in the A's are also Wasteland Survival Guide objectives. I cleared out the Super Duper Mart, drank some bomb water, and that brought me back to Minefield. We now rejoin your previously scheduled programming. The dialogue is a little bit different this time because we killed Arkansas instead of enslaving him. But that whole place was a death trap.
Lots of places are nowadays. Good work staying alive in tough conditions. It'll be a great example for the book.
Level up from that, and let's start Chapter 2.
The second chapter is going to be a bit trickier, I think. It'll cover how to handle creatures out there. for better or worse. For example, repelling mole rats, learning about mirelurks, and when all else fails, how to handle being injured. So let's buckle down and get to work on this chapter. What's first?
We'll be going to the Anchorage Memorial to pick up some books in the near future, so let's do the mirelurks. 3 points in lockpick. 13 points in medicine. 4 points in melee weapons. And once again, I'm going against conventional wisdom and taking a rank of scoundrel for the immediate boost to barter and speech instead of educated, which would clearly be better if I was in this for the long haul. But I'm not. And now we're ready to start on the books. South of the abandoned car fort is a map marker for Shale Bridge. And other than the fact that there is a bridge between two cliffs in the neighborhood, it's not immediately obvious why there's a map marker here. But this little hill with the green mushrooms is the entrance to the Shale Bridge tunnels. If you've never been here before, this is pretty cool.
There may be danger here.
The tunnels are full of little non-hostile ants. See if we can find one. Here we go. Okay, not that little. A 2-foot-long ant would be pretty alarming in real life, but compared to the aggressive 6-footers you see in the wasteland, kind of cute. And speaking of their larger, hostile cousins, once you get far enough in, it triggers an attack by them on the little guys. Yeah, right there. Karen and Dogmeat can take care of that. Once they're dead, we can search for... Okay, never mind. This guy is an ant researcher, and he has a science book on him. Like the raider in Bethesda with the Big Guns book, he respawns every 3 days and has a new copy of the book every time. Interestingly, sometimes he respawns alive and he's hostile, but not particularly tough. If you have the Cannibal perk, it's easy to get the book from the Smith's basement without violence, but I don't, so we'll need the key right here on the nightstand in their bedroom. Dogmeat, settle down, boy. You can also pick the lock, but I don't have the lockpick skill and I don't want the XP anyway. Don't mind me.
Hey there.
Hello. I could wait until the house is empty, but it actually doesn't matter. That squishing sound when you open the door is the body in the basement being dismembered. There's nobody down here. It's because dismemberment is handled by the physics engine. The level editor only lets you place an intact body in the game. If you want it to be chopped up when the player finds it, you need to set up a trigger zone that dismembers the body in real time when the player enters the area. Unfortunately, when the body parts separate, they can send nearby objects flying, like the skill book. There it is. Anyway, the residents always force greet you outside after the first time you enter the Smith's basement or the Wilson's shed, even if nobody actually sees you go in. But if you're quick enough with the Pip-Boy, you can fast travel away before they confront you. Dogmeat. Yeah, speaking of the physics engine, Dogmeat does not always handle doorways well. You okay? Now let's go.
Hey there, stranger.
Nope.
I've got something that I want to talk to you about.
Not fast enough. I don't want the XP, so let's play dumb.
Look, stranger, I'm not angry. I just want you to tell me the truth. If you can't do that, then I'd think you'd best head out of town.
I agree. Well, be nice. Yes, I was in the basement.
And did you see anything unexpected there?
You know, now that you mention it, there were a bunch of dead bodies down there.
And do you have any thoughts on that?
With the Cannibal perk, you can become friends, but I don't have it. The final speech challenge is easier, but I still don't want the XP, so I'm just getting out of here.
I'm sorry that you didn't enjoy your stay, but a man does need to feed his family. Nothing personal.
Over here.
Where?
Look out.
Yeah.
There's more where that came from. I'm ahead.
Well, that was slightly less non-violent than I hoped. I'm leaving a trail of abandoned orphans in my wake. First Brian Wilkes and now Jenny and Junior. The main reason I came to the Arlington house is the science book, of course, but this is also the location of the luck bobblehead. Taking it won't do me any good because my luck is already 9, and bonus skill points from luck are rounded up. It'll slightly increase my chance for critical hits, but I don't get personally involved in combat either. But long as we're here, no reason not to grab it. That's Broadcast Tower KB5, and this raider camp just to the southwest has a book hidden inside this crate. We saw some more like this a few weeks ago, and they make finding all the books without the Fallout wiki or strategy guide almost impossible. And while everybody is distracted by the battle between the mechanist and the antagonizer, yoink! I know it seems cruel to steal a kid's prize comic book, but it's not like I'm killing his parents. I mean, I can't, because he's already an orphan, but hey, I'm not killing his uncle either. Anyway, the other book is somewhere here in Dom and Machete's house. So, south of the Corvega factory, there's this truck, which has a mini nuke, a book, and some other loot. But that's not all. In the very back, there's a footlocker, which I'm not even close to being able to pick very hard. And I wouldn't want the XP even if I could. Excuse me. But right back down the road, toward the factory, off to the side, there's the skeleton, presumably the driver. And under the nearby crate, there's a whiskey bottle. Ignore that. But also, kind of glitching through the ground on this occasion. I'll see if I can grab it if I crouch. The driver's key. That's the key for the footlocker in the back of the truck. So we'll take it back up there. Unlock it. And another book. The dart gun schematic is behind that locked gate. I don't want the XP, so I'm going to jump in from up there, which is tricky but doable. But I don't want these guys to follow me and plunge to their deaths.
Yes, what is it?
Wait here.
I shall wait here until you return for me.
Dogmeat, you too. If you fall all the way to the ground, it will kill you. But if you land on the transmission tower thing and jump down from there, you can survive it. And I think this one is a slightly easier jump. Nice. And just to be safe, I'll hop on the transformers and then down. And here we have the schematic and a skill book. And the gate key is in the toolbox, so you're not trapped in here forever if you jump down and don't have enough lockpick skill to open the gate to get back out. And there is a reason I'm doing this location so far out of alphabetical order.
You return. Shall I join you once again?
Let's get going. So here's a funny thing. I'm only level 4, so the wilderness creatures I encounter are bloatflies, vicious dogs, mole rats, no rad scorpions yet. So I can't build a dart gun because I don't have a venom gland. Last week, I got one from a random special event at the Anchorage Memorial, but this time it was a different event, no rad scorpion. The only spawn point I know of where rad scorpions spawn regardless of the player's level is somewhere around here, an unmarked location east of Fort Bannister. They live in some of the craters around this destroyed town. And here's the funny part. The next location on my list alphabetically is the Deathclaw Sanctuary. That's probably some scorpions right there. So yeah, I'm having trouble building a dart gun to fight Deathclaws because the game thinks I'm too low level to even throw rad scorpions at me. What could possibly go wrong?
Damn it. I'm glad that's over.
Oh, trust me, my friend. After I use Moira's workbench and you see where we're going next, you'll wish we were still fighting scorpions. If you've never built the dart gun because the damage is pathetic, that's not really the point. The real benefit is it automatically cripples the target's legs if you hit, which means Deathclaws won't be able to outrun me or use their lunge attack. It's extremely powerful against any enemy that's fast and has a powerful melee attack, but no ranged attack. Deathclaws, Yao Guai, it can even make big packs of feral ghouls easier to deal with. And, of course, now I get a random encounter with a giant scorpion. I think this is the same encounter we saw in the first attempt at the Super Duper Mart, where it's not hostile unless you aggro it by getting too close to the giant ant it killed for dinner. Which I'm not going to do this time. Live and let live. Now, there's usually a... Yep. At least one Deathclaw patrols the area outside the sanctuary, and I need to be very careful. If one sneaks up on me, or if I miss with the dart gun, I'm 4th level with endurance of 1, so I'm pretty sure a Deathclaw can one-shot me. But it'll be good to do a test run outside here where I have room to maneuver, at least. Once I get into the tunnels, there won't be much margin for error. And my usual strategy of hide in a corner and let Karen and Dogmeat do all the work probably won't fly. Karen should be able to keep his distance once their legs are crippled, but I'm going to have to stay close to Dogmeat and be ready to stick him with a stim pack because he'll be right up in their faces. Is it gonna come down? It's not even a Deathclaw. It's pretty bad when you're relieved. It's only an Enclave soldier with a laser rifle. Okay, they took care of that. Well, maybe I'm still too low level for a Deathclaw to spawn outside. I know I just said I wanted to test run the dart gun with some room to maneuver, but I'm okay with not doing that too. Nothing sneaking up on us. There's a book in this footlocker, which I think we have to pick unless the mercenary has a key. No. Well, I know I can't avoid all the XP. There's the book. Actually, that's some pretty good stuff. Might as well take it all. Well, guess we'll head inside. Have I mentioned that this is a terrible idea? Now, the good news is the book is in the first chamber, and there's usually only one Deathclaw. You know, when I was planning this, I toyed with the idea of working my way to the back and picking up Vengeance for Charon, but now that I'm actually in here, you know what? His shotgun is good enough. And I see the marker on my compass. There it is. Do not miss. Got him.
Hey.
My work here is done.
What's the matter, huh? Can't stand the sight of your own blood?
As much as I want to go cower by the door, I need to stay close in case I need to heal Dogmeat. Oh, he got it. Yes. I'll take a Deathclaw hand just for bragging rights. And hurry up and get the book before any more show up. I'll also take the mini nuke, but the one reason I usually come here, the endurance bobblehead, I'm not going to take because someday, long after I've repressed this terrifying memory, I'll hit level 30, take the almost perfect perk, and come back for the bobblehead to bump endurance to 10. But for now, let's get out of here and never speak of this again. Okay, I thought I'd better show you this one in Fort Bannister because it's hard to find. It's kind of like the one in Evergreen Mills where you have to jump off the catwalk onto the control room roof, but it's harder to spot and the jump is trickier. Anyway, there it is, Energy Weapons Book, and some ammo. The next location on the list is Fort Constantine. We already picked up 2 books when we were there for the Big Guns bobblehead, but the rest require special keys that you can only get during the quest You Gotta Shoot 'Em in the Head. Fortunately, we can get the keys and pick up the books without actually completing the quest. So let's talk to Mr. Crowley, who, if he's not hanging out in the exhibit hall or the Ninth Circle, is usually in Carol's place.
Watch your step. Not everyone is as sympathetic to ghouls as you are. In fact, some humans are downright bigots. They treat us like zombies, calling us brain eaters and shufflers. Here's a list of the guys and their last known locations. Word will get around if Tenpenny's killed, but I'll need proof for the others. Bring me back something personal from each of them as proof, like a key, a ring, or something.
Now, if Crowley's story seems a little fishy, that's because it is.
What's happening?
If we talk to some people who know him, it'll shed some more light on the situation and open up some different options for dealing with it.
Hello.
We'll start with Tulip.
You're back. Wow. You're really back. What do you need?
Does Crowley come in here a lot? What's his angle?
I'm not going to rat on a customer unless you know.
Oh, you have to pass a speech challenge to bribe her for the information. I don't want the XP, so I'm not doing that. Is that a hint? You want me to bribe you? No way.
Wastelanders get dumber every day.
But while I'm here, she does have a unique skill book I can get if we ask about Underworld's history.
A lot of it was focused on this old book called Paradise Lost. It's about a guy who goes to hell. Pretty interesting stuff. I found a big box of copies of the book in one of the back rooms. Here, take one. Nobody around here wants them.
Thanks. That's all I needed to know.
Come back any time. It's kinda lonely down here.
Quinn, any chance you'll tell me what Crowley is up to?
I might know something interesting if you're willing to pay for it.
I certainly am, since getting the information free requires a speech challenge. Oh look, I dropped these 50 caps in your pocket.
Very funny. Crowley has some kind of scam going where he's going to get rich. He tried to get me to kill these 3 guys, but I wouldn't do it. I've met Dave and he's no more of a ghoul bigot than I am.
The word around Underworld is that this isn't about killing ghoul bigots.
You're a nosy little bastard, aren't you? It's true. Tenpenny is a bigot, but the others aren't. All I want are those keys. Just bring me the keys and I'll give you the full price anyway. How about an extra 100 caps to seal the new deal?
More caps? You've got a deal.
Good. Oh, and I still want Tenpenny dead. That bastard really does hate ghouls. It's been a while. What have you been up to?
Cool. Karen's catching up with some of his old friends. Anyway, we still have a small problem. One of the books in Fort Constantine is behind a very hard locked door that can't be opened with the quest keys, and my lockpick skill isn't nearly high enough for that. So I'm going to collect all the lockpicking skill books next, and then get the keys. There's one in this locked storage room around the corner from the shooting range. Along with a fat man. There's the book. The fat man's not as exciting as it would usually be, but it's still valuable. And we level up from picking the lock. Nice. We'll put 10 points in melee weapons, 3 points in repair, and the rest in small guns. And for the perk, it's time to take Comprehension to double the skill points we get from all these books, since I have to read the lockpick books to get into the locked room in Fort Constantine. Red, sorry, but I really can't afford the XP for rescuing you right now, so hang tight for a bit. I'll be back when I get all my skills to 100. I did a whole video showing off this Rube Goldberg machine a couple years ago, which was the first time I'd ever found it. Belvin can put a link in the description. Bottom line, the final explosion, wait for it, shakes loose some loot out of the ceiling over in this corner. Mini nuke. There's the lockpick magazine that we're really here for. And there should also be another book. There it is. Energy weapons. I didn't remember that you can bribe Robert without a speech challenge, so that's good news. Anyway, the book should be among the loot in the area where he sleeps. Turn on a light. Not on that shelf. Oh, here it is, right here on the bench. And conveniently, it's not marked as stealing, even though everything else is. And there's another book where the rest of the family lives. Might as well get it while we're here. It's on top of that train car. You have to jump down from the mezzanine. Just make sure we're directly over it. And more crate shenanigans. There it is, a speech book. All right, let's go.
I was wondering if...
Dogmeat and Karen, yeah, they found their way down. By approaching from the Georgetown crater, I think we can get into the metro without triggering the fast travel marker. I know this is a little over the top, but after the first 2 attempts, I'm really paranoid about excess XP. Just keep an eye on the compass marker and scoot around this corner. Stick close to the wall. And I think we... Yes, lovely. Of course, Dogmeat and Karen are going to go the normal way, but that's fine. I think Pennsylvania Avenue is straight across and out the other exit. I don't think we have to explore the train tunnels. I'm not sure what's usually in here or if it's always deserted, but that's fine with me. As big as the Pennsylvania Avenue area is, there are only a few books in the whole place. I'm really after the lockpick book, but 2 other ones should be in buildings close to this exit. Yeah, no way to avoid that map marker. The Brotherhood of Steel is usually fighting super mutants in this area, but we're not going to get involved. The first book should be in this building right here, an old hotel the Brotherhood is using as a field barracks. Another one is right across the street in the tunnel that gives you access to the crater that used to be the White House. I don't know if you can reach the tunnel with... Nope. There's the map marker. This is also the tunnel you use to access the presidential metro if you have broken steel installed, and the book should be right here in the first room. If I keep my eye on the compass, I should be able to get the last one without activating any more map markers.
Bring it!
There's a sewer that connects Pennsylvania Avenue and Vernon Square, but there are multiple map markers in Vernon Square, and I already got a different one when I visited the hospital, so going in from that end would give me 10 XP I don't need. And, this
place is not safe.
underground parking garage has a scavenger shop, but I don't think I need to sell that much at the moment. And the sewer entrance is right here. The lockpick book is supposedly near a pile of ammo boxes, and this must be it. Oh, there it is. And we're out. The Fallout Wiki says the book in Vault 108 usually glitches through the stepladder it's supposed to be on top of, and they were not lying. Take the quantum, but it's supposedly possible to blow it out of the corner with a grenade, so guess I'll try that. Fire in the hole. I don't really know where the first grenade landed. Maybe drop it in and run?
Be cautious.
No, that made it worse. To blow it up and out, I guess the grenade needs to be, like, in the other corner? Perfect. Or not. Still in there. This seems like a terrible idea, but I have a plasma grenade I picked up from an Enclave soldier, and they're a lot more powerful. Run! I think that moved it further under the ladder. Yeah, that's it. Great. How about a pulse grenade? They have physics, but they only hurt robots, so I can be a little more precise without worrying about incinerating myself. Oh, it's definitely moving. Oh, kind of in the right direction, even. Oh, nice. Nope. No more of those. Well, it is moving around, so maybe if you got really lucky, the grenade technique might work, but I'm just going to call this one unreachable and deal with the fact that I have to spend 2 more skill points on lockpick. Now, the glitched book in Vault 108 means I'll still be 2 points shy of 100 until I level up again, but with lockpick 98 and the Vault utility suit, I'll be able to pick very hard locks anyway. So let's read them, and then we can go talk to the people who have the keys we need for Fort Constantine. Do you know a Mr. Crowley?
Whoa, that's a blast from the past. My dad knew a dude named Crowley. I never met him, though. I think Dad said he died when they were checking out some old fort.
Mr. Crowley wants your father's security key.
Whoa, is it, like, worth caps? 'Cause I got needs, man.
I'll give you 25 caps for that key.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna be flying high tonight.
I got nothing against ghouls. Ha! I even had a ghoul party girl once to see what it was like. This is about the key, isn't it? The goddamn key. If you want it, I better see some fucking caps on the table, clown shoes.
Can your table handle 200 caps?
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Are you applying for citizenship, asylum, or just vacationing in the Republic of Dave?
There are several ways to get Dave's key, but he won't just sell his like Ted and Dukov did. I'm seeking asylum, Mr. President.
Ah, another victim of persecution seeking protection from the mighty Republic of Dave. We get a lot of that here. I'll agree to harbor you for now. However, in exchange, you will reveal the secrets of your former nation to me or face exile.
My former nation was a vault. The only secrets were kept by the Overseer.
Interesting. Well, the Republic of Dave is glad to welcome a former vault citizen to our fair nation. You hereby are granted asylum within the Republic of Dave. Just don't get on my bad side, refugee.
If you ask what's happening in the Republic, it starts an unmarked quest to help with the election. If you arrange it so Rosie or Bob wins, Dave leaves the Republic, goes to Old Olney, and gets killed by Deathclaws. But I'm not ready to fight more Deathclaws yet, just to loot his body. Mr. President, do you know a ghoul named Mr. Crowley?
There's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Before the people elected me president, I worked with a mercenary named Mr. Crowley. We were part of an expedition to Fort Constantine.
You can get the key with a couple of speech challenges, but I don't want the XP. You can just kill him on sight like the quest objective tells you, but that gets you evil karma and I want to stay neutral. Plus, then I'd get the XP. But if you lip off to him, he attacks you. No karma penalty, and no XP if Caron and Dogmeat do the killing. Of course, that turns the whole Republic against you, so we'd have to kill all the adults, but hey, at this point, we're a lean, mean, orphan-making machine. I'm kidding. He has 2 grown kids and 4 little ones. And while he gets pissy if he loses the election, he does let democracy work, so he's not really a bad guy. I'll just use a stealth boy and pickpocket him. I will lose a little karma, but if it pushes me back down to evil, I'll donate some more money to the church. Yoink! And we're out. Pick up another stealth boy to replace the one I just used. And don't forget the Vault 101 utility jumpsuit. And I think we're ready to go. Ted's key gets us into the launch control bunker, and there are 2 books in here. There's one, Duck and Cover, and there should also be a science book on one of these desks as well. Bomb storage requires Dukov's key, okay. And this area is where we need lockpick 100 to open a very hard lock that can't be opened with any of the special keys. It's this one on the right when you first come in. There's another very hard door with a terminal right beside it, but they open into different areas, so make sure you pick the right one. You can also open them by hacking the terminals, but they're also very hard, and my lockpick skill... Oh. Yeah, I need to put on the Vault 101 utility jumpsuit to get my lockpick all the way to 100, and that was closer to 100 than my science was, so I'm doing the lock, not the terminal. Come on. Oh, it's right there. Nice. Got that without breaking any lockpicks. The book is on this table. And the other one is right across the hall. Behind Tara, who was the 5th member of Crowley's Merc team, but she didn't make it out. She also has a key, warhead storage, but we don't need it for the book. I will take it just in case I ever want to stock up on mini nukes. And this door must be... Yes, Dave's key. The treasure Crowley's after is in here, the T-51B power armor, but I'm not going to take it. I just want the book, and I think ripping him off completes the quest. So even if I wanted the armor, I don't want the XP. And here's the book. I will take a couple mini nukes. And a Fat Man in decent condition. Of course, I'm not going to tell Crowley he can get the armor now, because that would also complete the quest. I'm one of those people who doesn't like a lot of clutter in my quest log. I like to finish something and move on, but I'm leaving a lot of people hanging in this run. If I can avoid... Nope. I was going to say if I can avoid the fast travel marker, I will, because I didn't want the XP. I thought it was over by the office. The agility bobblehead's in there, but I don't need it. The books are out here in the disposal site, but apparently so is the fast travel marker. And the other book is over in a shack made from a shipping container. Interestingly, there's no radiation inside. Presumably it's lined with lead or something. And the inhabitant's dead, although he has a medicine book and a ton of meds. It'd be ironic if he figured out how to survive in a giant radiation field, and that protected him from raiders and slavers, and then he died of lead poisoning. He's got radiation suits, other meds, the book, some Rad-X. Huge pile of rat away in this dog meat, excuse me, in this bucket. I almost missed a book right next to my house in Megaton. There's one in Jericho's house, and if you wondered why you need evil karma to hire him, well, there's this. On the other hand, is it really wrong to drink alone and play Grognak the Barbarian with stuffed animals and a real sword? Asking for a friend. Here's something I never knew existed. On the second level down in the Delta 9 exhibit in the Museum of Technology, you can jump on this ledge, and there's a hidden office under the stairwell. And on one of the desks, there's a small guns magazine. I've been here dozens of times, and I can't believe I never noticed that room before. The last time we visited the National Guard Depot for the bobblehead, there was one book we couldn't get because we didn't have all the Keller family transcripts, but now we do. Sadly, they survived the war, but eventually they died in the bunker, except for one who turned into a feral ghoul. If you've been here before, you were probably trying to get the unique Fat Man, but that's just icing on the cake for me because I'm really here for the book. You guys gonna take care of this?
Help me.
Okay, they're on it.
Keep firing. I'm glad that's over.
Anyway, somewhere in here, there is a book. No, that's a spatula. Oh, there's the experimental nuke launcher and a big pile of mini nukes. Oh, and the book is on the same table. Good. Let's take a look at that thing. Experimental MERV. Damage 509 in like 10% condition. You can repair it with regular fat men. The thing is, it launches 8 mini nukes at once. It's insanely powerful, but also prone to having at least one of them go off a foot from the barrel, so it's not terribly practical. But in the right situation, it will mess people up. Even a behemoth can't stand up to it, assuming you can find a safe place to fire it from. There's a book in the scavenger's barn near Reclining Groves, but it may be tricky to get without gaining XP. It's actually upstairs here in the scavenger's footlocker, which has a very hard lock. I could open that now, but there's a key, and I'd rather do it that way if I can. The key is supposedly under the burned-out bus around back, but I can't see it anywhere. Not from the side. Not through this hole in the floor of the bus. And not from the other side either. But, just like the glitching book in Vault 108, you can supposedly blow it free with a grenade. So let's try that.
Watch out!
Ow. A little too close. I don't see it. Well, it did blow all this other junk out. Ooh, there it is. No. The collision detection on the bus is preventing me from actually touching it. And that last grenade crippled me. But at least we're making progress. I still have 9 grenades and more than half my health bar left, so let's try to drop this one right in the hole. Okay, 14 grenades, 2 stim packs, and about a half hour of real time later, here it is. There's the barn, and the key got blown all the way up here. Full disclosure, I thought it got blown out of the level, and I used a console command to find it just out of curiosity. But since it was actually still in the world map, that proves the grenade method does work, and I could have found it on my own if I searched long enough. So call me a cheater if you want, but I'm gonna take it. 2 books in the Sniper Shack, one fairly easy to find under a pre-war book on this table. And the other one, more crate shenanigans. Okay, not the obvious crate, or the other one. Yep, there it is. Okay, so the Robco Facility is next on the list, and I might as well do the thing for Moira while I'm there. I need Science 50 for that, but other than one science book in the facility itself, I have all the rest that I'm going to get from other locations. There are a few more scattered around the map, but I'm intentionally skipping them because I'd either have to pick locks or visit locations that I wouldn't otherwise go to, so I can avoid XP by making up the difference with respawning copies from Shalebridge. So I'm going to read all the ones I have now, and that should be more than enough to hack the terminal at Robco. I almost forgot I'm not doing the clever options this run. Charisma.
Hey, robots are people too. Well, some of them. Kinda. Well, okay. Not really. Still, just in case you anger a few of our more metallic brethren, have a few of pulse grenades I picked up, just in case. Oh, and take my book on science. For some reason, I just can't get into the computer parts, but I've got the rest pretty much memorized.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but that completes the book, right?
Smooth, suave, and done with a smile. I swear I picked up a few pointers from your style myself. You're the real wasteland survival guru.
There's the perk, which should be +6 sneak and speech. And the quest is complete. I know I said I'm saving quests for last this time, but that's a total of 16 skill points. The perk plus 2 books she gives you as rewards for 2 of the objectives, and only 300 XP, 100 per chapter, so there was never any question we had to do this one. And while we're here, sell some loot. Here's another case where I think we need to start a quest, but we don't have to finish it.
This better be important.
How's that ghoul situation coming along?
That damn Roy Phillips won't take no for an answer. Keeps showing up, looking for a handout. He and his kind aren't wanted. End of story. Roy Phillips and his gang are somewhere in Warrington Station metro tunnels. They've barred the main entrance. Try going through the train yard.
I already got the books from down there, so I won't be doing that. I just want to unlock the dialogue with Tenpenny so I can get the book out of his suite.
That's a laugh. Roy Phillips can't be reasoned with. Trust me. But go ahead and try and talk some sense into him. It's your funeral. It's dark in those tunnels. Shoot first and ask questions later.
I'm not sure if mentioning the nonviolent solution is required to unlock the dialogue about letting the ghouls move in, but just in case.
Mr. Tenpenny isn't taking callers.
I don't want the XP. Do you know when I can see him?
Unsolicited callers are not generally welcome. Have a nice day. Goodbye.
Maybe you have to convince the other residents first. The thing is, if I talk to them and then Tenpenny, that might complete the quest. I'd probably have to tell Roy first, but the safest thing is just use a stealth boy and steal the key. Yoink. If you want to see a non-traditional solution to this quest, I just did a video of that back in April. Belvin can put a link in the description. And the book is on the desk in Tenpenny's bedroom. Speech book. And before anybody catches me lurking around in here... No, that's the guest bedroom. I think I'm just going to go out on the balcony and fast travel home. This would also be a convenient time to kill Tenpenny for Mr. Crowley, but I'm not doing that either, so back to Megaton. Okay, most of the books that are left at this point require you to complete quests to get them. And like I said, I need to do some analysis to see which quests have the best skill point to XP ratio, so I'm going to call it a day, and we can do some quests next time. And that will probably be the grand finale, because unlike the first 2 attempts, we are very much on track this time. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.